Now let's go ahead and put a form on the page. And I'm going to go to the HTML, and above my button, let's put a label for first name, and then we'll have an input. Type is text, ID equal first name, and actually let's put a break here, and then label last name, input type is text, ID equal last name, and label job and course. And if I wanted these to line up, I'd put them in a table, but I don't really care. So there's 4 form fields. And now in my AJAX code, instead of just putting these in the URL hard-coded, I want to fetch them out of the table. Out of the form fields. So let's go ahead and start here. So first name is document get element by ID first name dot value, and then paste that in. So I want first name, last name, job, course. First name, last name, job, and course. So normally what I would want is something like data is equal to first name equal plus first name plus and last name equal plus last name plus and job equal plus job plus course equal plus course. So I say normally I would want something like that, and then here I would just want to say plus data. But there's one problem here, which is whatever data is going to get sent along to the web server as part of the URL. And some of these characters are special. So for example, if I type CIS/233W, slash is a special character in URLs. Colon is, question mark is, ampersand is. So there are lots of characters that I could type into these form fields that are going to confuse the server when the request is sent to it. So what I need to do is I need to escape all of these characters so that the web server doesn't think that they're part of the URL instead of part of the data. And I want to keep some of the special characters. I want to keep this ampersand and this equal and this ampersand and this equal. So I basically only want to make this safe and this safe and this safe and that safe, because those are the only places where funny characters could pop in that I need to deal with. So there's a built-in function for doing that called encode URI component. So encode URI component, and if I give it a piece of text like that, you'll see that it took the less than and the greater than, and it escaped them into hex values. And it also does that with a lot of the characters you'd see in a URL, like ampersand and question mark and slash and colon. Those all get escaped. And it does spaces as well. So all of the characters that aren't alphanumeric are basically going to get converted. Well, not all of them, but many of them. So what I want to do is encode each of these URI components. And that makes it safe to send along in the URL using get method. Like so. So now if I go over here and reload, scroll up to my form. So let's say Fred Smith, lecturer, some course, and fetch. I still have to wait 10 seconds. I'm going to get rid of that while this is processing. So I made my point about asynchronous requests. And while I was doing that, you'll see that the results arrived and got formatted and displayed. This that actually came back as less than exclamation point greater than. And since I'm gluing this into a string with HTML and then using it to set the inner HTML of this results box, the browser basically thinks this is a tag. So I could actually put HTML here. So let's say bold /B, and I hit fetch. You'll see this is taken as HTML and used for the formatting. So sometimes this is what you want, sometimes it isn't. You may want to process the return value if you want it to display as HTML.